What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sports Geek. How's it going? I'm your host, Errol. Man, haven't been on here for a while. It's been kind of crazy, but lots going on in Yankee land. A lot of rumors, a lot of speculation, a lot of beat writers going crazy. Just a lot of madness, right? But the most intriguing thing that I saw the other day was the fact that Brian Cashman was speaking, and he said he was asked, how does he feel about the team's chances, running back the same lineup. And he kind of, he wasn't defensive, but he just said it's not the same lineup, right? I'm trying to understand. There's times I like Brian Cashman. There's times I just don't understand Brian Cashman. I'm just trying to understand, why wouldn't he have just said simply like, hey, it's the same team. I feel confident in the team. We're going to make some additions where we can. And we're hoping for breakout years for some other guys that didn't have so good of a year last year. And therefore, it's going to make that team different. Because if you look at it, Austin Wells had a horrible year, right? Volpe didn't have a good year. Ryan McMahon didn't have a good year. Just a lot of that bottom order is kind of horrible. So I guess there's ways to answer the questions and not feel like you're being pressured or feel like you didn't do enough. As for the Yankees, I don't know if they've done enough. I really don't know. So here are my predictions for the Yankees this year, for 2026, right? If Austin Wells can bat at least 240 to 250, if Ben Rice can at least bat 250, 260, if Cody Bellinger can have a similar year, if Aaron Judge can be Aaron Judge and just perform, if Trent Grisham can have another good year, Jose Caballero can step up in Volpe's absence for the time being. A lot of ifs, but if these things can happen, I do predict they can win a lot of games. If these people step up, if these people have a good year, good stats. My biggest worry for them is the pitching staff, the rotation. That's my worry. I don't trust the starting rotation. I know Garrett Cole is going to be awesome. Carlos Rodon is going to be good. If Cam Schlittler, once again, and I hope he takes the next step forward and advances. Same thing with Will Warren, takes the next step forward and advances. A lot of ifs, right? Maybe Louis Heel returns back to his old self of a few years ago and not last year. The Rookie of the Year candidate. Well, the first half of the year at least, right? Just a lot of ifs. I remember Joe Torre saying, you can never have enough pitching. Not in this game. And that's my worry. I think not knowing what you can get from Garrett Cole, not knowing how Carlos Rodon's going to be, Clark Schmidt's out till about August, September. You just don't know. And I don't know if this rotation is good enough to compete, even with Garrett Cole, in the playoffs. You're facing a different kind of hitters, really top-notch, best of the best of the best, sir, in the playoffs, in the World Series. So I don't know if this rotation is strong enough. Maybe they pick up a pitcher at the trade deadline. I don't know. Prices were high for Freddie Peralta. Prices were high for Mackenzie Gore. I can see why they went with just doing some trades to kind of get around that aspect. I wouldn't trade your entire farm for 1 year of a elite pitcher. I'm not a prospect hugger, but I wouldn't trade them for 1 year of someone you don't know if they want to re-sign with you. And if they're a Scott Boras agent, they're going to free agency. They're going to go to free agency. It's just how it is. So I think I kind of respect them hearing some of the asking price that they wanted for some of these pitchers. So I kind of respect the fact that they, didn't continue with those trades. But I do worry about the starting rotation. As for the lineup, we just went over that. I don't think the lineup is going to be as potent as people think it is. The Yankees don't really have guys that hit in the clutch, and that's the problem. When you look at other teams, to quote Joel Sherman, the Dodgers have good players. They just do. Or no, it wasn't Joel Sherman. It was another beat writer. Oh my God, was it Tim Kirch? My God, I forgot. But he was just basically saying, you know what you're gonna get when you face the Dodgers. Mookie Betts is gonna be Mookie Betts. Freddie Freeman's gonna be Freddie Freeman. Will Smith's gonna be Will Smith. There's consistency there, right? Yamamoto's gonna be Yamamoto. They're going to be the same guys that perform at a top level. Where the Yankees, once you get past Aaron Judge and maybe Cody Bellinger, what do you really know that they have? Okay, maybe Ben Rice. What do they have? Does that lineup really scare other pitchers? I don't see it. So that's the issue I have with the lineup. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be an interesting spring training. We're pretty much running back the same team. We can all see that. There's not really much improvements there. The Yankees are at a $324 million payroll, if you can believe that. $324 million. Kudos to them. I still think you don't need to have a payroll that high, but when you've got a few players in the team that probably shouldn't be there, or they've wasted some money in areas where they shouldn't have wasted, you kind of get that payroll. It's kind of crazy. The Dodgers are at, here, I'll share this. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy, the payroll. Let me see here. There we go. There we go. Yep, Yankees 324. Projected tax base, negative 80 million. So 50% on a third-time repeaters plus. Yeah, that's crazy. It's a lot of cost. We go to the Athletics. 144, not bad. Braves. 266, wow. Orioles. 198. White Sox. Where are they at? 120. It must be nice to have a lot of cap space. What about the Red Sox? Where are they at? 275. Wow. Dodgers. 411. Dude, that's crazy. God bless them. They're winning, right? They've got the right mix of people. Guys that can hit clutch. Ton of great pitching talent with pitchability. Just crazy. Crazy. Good for them. I'm not mad. I wish the Yankees could find the right clutch players and be like how they used to be, but they're not the Yankees. They're not the same Yankees anymore. They're not gonna. They have budgets. They're not gonna go out of those budgets, and they are the fourth highest payroll. So, I think that God, where can I find the payrolls for 2027? There used to be an area on here where you can go into 2027. There we go. Sorry about that. 2027, the Yankees payroll will be $219 million. Not bad. A lot of money coming off the books. In 2027, here are the only people signed on the Yankees. Check this shit out. In 2027, it's Aaron Judge, Garrett Cole, Cody Bellinger, Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, and Giancarlo Stanton. And I think... Wait a minute. We have... So is he a free agent 2028? Extension. Arbitration extension. Oh. 2028. He's still on there. We're paying him $10 million. So is he here till 2029? I thought he was done in 2027. Am I losing my mind? Yeah. So I think that Giancarlo has an option. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. So he's here for 2027. And in 2028, he has an opt-out or a club option. They're not picking that up. They're not picking it up. Even though they're only paying $10 million for him, because the Marlins are picking up the rest, they're not picking it up. I think he's done. So this year, next year they have him, and then he's done. And that'll open up the DH spot for Aaron Judge. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But as you can see, they don't have a team. Their payroll in 2020 is $186 million. Sorry, 167 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. I guarantee Hal doesn't go above 250. He's going to build a team around some youngsters. 2027, 205. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. There's so much money coming off the books. Oh my God. In 2029, it's $94 million. I guess they'll become profitable again, right? They'll become profitable again. So, anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Don't have much to say. Cody Bellinger's back. He talked about wanting to be a Yankee. He liked playing here. He talked about the clubhouse. Liked all that good stuff. That's awesome. The guy's a ball player. I'm glad that he wanted to be a Yankee. I think we overpaid for him, like I said before in the previous show. But it's fine. It's fine. He's gonna. If he opts out in 2 years, I think it's a great deal for the Yankees because then you get that money off the books. If he stays, it is what it is. You got a center fielder for time. Grisham's going to be gone. I certainly hope, unless Grisham performs again, I hope they don't pick up that contract or offer him another qualifying offer. So we'll see. We will see. We will see what happens. Anyway, guys, listen, that's all I got for you. I don't have much. Remember to like, subscribe, share, comment. Nothing else really going on. But that's just my predictions. I predict if Austin Wells shows up, Ben Rice shows up, Jazz shows up, and if Ryan McMahon even just hits 240, I think they're a much better team than last year. 100%. If those guys don't show up, and I think if Camilo Duvall shows up, if David Bednar does what he does, has a good year, I'm not worried about their bullpen. I hear a lot of people talking about bullpen arms. They've got guys in the minors that are going to come up, probably not be a starter, but go into the bullpen. Unless their starting rotation crumbles, then they'll be such. But they have enough pitching depth in the minors that they can bring guys up, and they can also make trades at the deadline. So we'll see how they go. We'll see how they do. I wish I could say that they're going to do more. I don't think they're going to do any more. I just don't see it. I think in their minds, they've done enough. They've spent enough. Could they make trades? Possibly. I can see them continue trading for players. Possibly in the big splash. You never know. What are you going to do with Jason Dominguez or Spencer Jones? There's some expendability there. But once again, with Giancarlo Stanton that gets hurt every now and then, why would you trade either of those two? Kind of want to start the year, see how they perform. Maybe they do well. And if you have to make a move at the deadline, their value has gone up. So we'll see what happens, man. I don't think they should just trade Jason Dominguez because they got to trade him. You trade him with the values and give the kid a chance. See if he could play. Give the kid a chance. If he can play, let him play. If he can't play, all right, well, we gamble and loss. I also heard him say that they were happy to change their scouting, their operations director for the minors. I think the Yankees, and nobody's saying this, I'm sorry, I forgot to say this before, they had that audit a few years ago when they really performed like shit. And you didn't really hear anything about the audit. Like what happened with the audit. The audit. And I think that they're doing moves and acting in a way. The Yankees have acted kind of screwed up the past 15 years, really. Bad moves, bad trades, some bad acquisitions. And that's fine. Sometimes you got to fill a position or get a player. You hope they could perform when they get there, and they don't. The player still has to perform, right? Good someplace else, horrible for us. Okay, get that out the way. But I think that they're learning a little bit about how to kind of revamp their team. Because if you look at it, they spend a lot of money on free agency. They draft well at the position they draft at. So they're never getting the first top 10 guys out the draft. They're drafting towards the bottom half the time, more than half the time. Right? 80%, 90% of the time, unless they come in third or whatever, or in the American League East or whatever they do. So for where they draft, they do pick decent players. So people saying the Yankees farm system is shit, they're fucking whacked out of their minds. They got decent players down there, right? You guys just you never heard of them. So with that being said, I think with them making the change, a lot of their international free agents really aren't panning out. Roderick Arias hasn't panned out. Possibly Jason Dominguez. You know, a run like Mays can't hit for shit. Right? He can hit, but he can't play defense, right? So there's a glaring hole there. Certain other prospects have not panned out for them. So I think what they're trying to do is revamp that, because if they can build a system where they have good picks and good players and prospects in their system, they don't have to rely heavily on free agency. And I think that's where they're headed. They want to really start revamping that farm, get as much international free agents as possible, bring them into the system, and kind of substitute players with free agency and pick what they need from there. Because I think Hal has pretty much had it with, he's constantly worrying about expenses. We've heard it before, that there's got to be a way to change. If you look, and to show you what I mean, right? To show you what I mean one more time. Check this out. Let me share this again. So check this out. If I go to Kansas City, look at their payroll. They've got a lot of young guys. Kansas City's competitive. I know people might think they're dog shit, but they're competitive. They've got a young team. Came up in the system, and they perform. The Baltimore Orioles, 198. Once again, young team. I mean, look, the salaries aren't that great, right? You can sustain something like this and make your money back, right? And although it shouldn't be that way for the Yankees, that's what they're doing. Reds, another young team, right? Young guys, the payroll. And they're competitive. They've given us, they play us tough, right? So that's where things are at. That's where things are at. Once the Mariners, young team, the age, the payroll, and they're competitive. It's not the American League East, but just get what I'm saying here. So I think that's what they're trying to do. I still think they should spend as much as they want. That's me. They're the New York Yankees, but who am I, right? Remember to like, subscribe, share, comment. Thank you guys for listening. Nothing much going on. Like I said, they didn't make the moves that wanted them to make. Well, you didn't get Freddie Peralta. He went to the Mets. It is what it is. What are you going to do, right? Can't grab a spilled milk, so just move on. Anyway, guys, thank you for viewing, listening, watching, the whole nine. Really appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, anything happens, I'll come on, but it's been a really boring kind of off season, so nothing much. Like, I knew they were going to get Cody Bellinger. Just didn't know what price was going to be in it for how long. We knew that was going to happen, so glad he's back. At least we got left field locked up, and we'll see what happens with the Yankees in the future. Guys, have a good night. Stay safe. Peace. I'm Errol. I'm out.